Okay, and then I'd like you to pick a bay and reverse park into it for me, please. Okay, so I'm just going to pause you there for a second. Hi guys, welcome back to Drive London. I'm Rohit, this is Salal, and Salal found us from YouTube and he came to us to do a mock test. He has a test coming up in about a month's time, yeah, at a different test centre. We came to see how he drives and if he's going to be test standard. Now he's not actually done any lessons with an instructor at all, right? So he's just been learning with friends and family, and this is his first time with an instructor, and yeah, he's doing a mock test for the first time as well. And this is your first ever test as well? You've never attempted a test before? Good. Okay, and how many hours would you say you've done driving?
More than 20 hours.
More than 20 hours? And you have your own car, you're saying, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Practicing on my old car, so...
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so he has enough practice. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with learning with friends and family, as long as you're still kind of knowing the rules of the road and doing everything correctly. But yeah, we'll find out. We drove here for half an hour to get used to the car, which he drove okay, he was doing well. He does use overtaking lanes quite a bit, but just remember we spoke about using the normal driving position as much as possible and planning ahead for this. But yeah, just remember that. And was there any serious mistakes driving here? No? No?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, alright, anyways. Cool, so we're going to get into this. So I'm going to explain how the test works. It's going to last for 40 minutes. During those 40 minutes, keep following the road ahead unless I ask you to turn left or right. There's going to be 20 minutes of independent driving, one manoeuvre and possibly the emergency stop, and one show me and one tell me question. Have you gone over those questions, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Alright, so let's start with that tell me question. Could you tell me how you would check to see if your power steering is working correctly?
So I will start the car. So before starting, it should feel hard. So after starting the car, it should feel very lightly and smoothly.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you're going to follow my directions to begin with, and then we'll do the independent driving with the sat-nav later on. Okay, so whenever you're ready, I'd like you to start the car and we can drive on. I'm just going to keep following the road ahead for now.
Okay.
Sorry. For you guys, whenever he makes any mistakes, any serious or dangerous mistakes, it'll be up in red up here. Any minor mistakes will be in amber. Any good things, it'll be in green. Okay? Alright, yeah. We can start again. The next roundabout, we're going to turn right. roundabout, we're going to turn left. To pull over and park in a safe place for me, please. Okay, so whenever you're ready, we're going to move off again. Next roundabout, we're going to turn left, first exit. Let's turn left, first exit. Okay, and I'd like us to pull over and park again in a safe place. On this occasion, don't worry about the yellow lines. Plenty of room to move away. Okay, that's great. Whenever you're ready, I'd like us to move off again, please. perfect zip. This is fine. This is okay. No problem. I'm just going to continue straight ahead. Lights, we're going to turn right. straight ahead second exit. Let's go straight ahead second exit at the roundabout. And we're going to take the next road on your left. you to pick a bay and reverse park into it for me, please. Okay, so I'm just going to pause you there for a second. I want us to do this maneuver again without going into any other bays. So being straight in the road and then reversing into one of the bays. Okay, so all we'll do is we'll go around, go onto the other side and then pick a bay and reverse park into it again for me, please. And if I just get you to move your bottle, just lay it flat for me because it's going to just lay it flat. Ah, there you go. Otherwise the audio is going to mess up. That's great. Okay. So we're going to go around to the other side and then pick another bay and reverse park again, okay, without going into any other bays, okay? Start again. Okay, so pick a bay and reverse park into it for me, please. Yeah, so like this and reverse into either side. You done?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. We're gonna move on from here. Just turn left. We're just going to pause here for a second. We're going to start your independent driving from here, okay? So I'd like you to follow now the sat nav, please, okay? I'll give you the first directions actually. We'll come left out of here and then turn right and then follow the sat nav thereafter.
100 yards, turn left, then go left on the roundabout. Turn left, then go left on the roundabout. After 100 yards, go left on the roundabout, first exit. Go left on the roundabout, first exit.
ignore that direction. I'm going to carry on straight ahead, okay? Ignore the direction, go straight ahead.
Turn left, then turn right.
Now we're going to turn right at the roundabout. Second exit. We're just going to carry on straight ahead for me, please. Okay, we're going to do the emergency stop exercise, yeah? So when I put my hand towards the windscreen and say stop, I'd like you to carry the emergency stop. Okay. Actually, we're going to leave it for now, okay? It's not going to be safe to do so. I like us to pull over and park just before that, after that silver car on the left, in that space where we started off. That's great.
After 100 yards, turn right. Then go left on the roundabout.
That's great. We'll secure the car. And turn off the engine as well for me, please. Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't do the emergency stop because of that vehicle that was behind us. But never mind. Okay, how do you think you've done? So that's the end of the test.
Was the first time not good.
Why not?
Yeah, the first one I hit the curb
Okay.
when you said pull up on the left side,
Yeah.
and then I think maybe the speed limit. Did I go just a bit over 20 miles per hour?
Yeah, on one occasion you did, yeah. But I marked that down as just a minor because I feel like you realised fairly quick and then
Yeah,
you
after
reduced it.
after I realized I was going too quick. After that, I
Yeah,
I made
yeah.
sure I was below that.
Yeah, so you went to about 23, 24 miles per hour, and then I saw you realised, and you realised fairly quick, so you reduced your speed. But yes, you're right. Unfortunately, you have failed your test. You got 2 serious mistakes.
Okay.
Now, putting that to a side, I have to say, considering you haven't done any lessons with any instructors or anything, your driver's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a problem passing this test. Now, obviously, you have still failed this particular one. It's your first ever attempt. But let's explain to you why you got those mistakes and where those happened. So you're correct about the steering. So you realize you mounted the curb there, yeah? Okay, so when we came into park, we found it's a very small space to park, and you've tried to come in quite sharp, and we've ended up mounting the curb. So even it wasn't even a little touch, we mounted the curb there.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a serious fault. You shouldn't be going on top of the curb to park. So let's explain, now let's figure out how we could have prevented that. So I said to you, pull over and park in a safe place. Now where I wanted you to park, you drove past it. Okay, and I'd like us to pull over and park in a safe place for me, please. Yeah, you missed the first gap. Yeah,
I think
okay.
I was yeah, maybe too fast, or was it too near? Then I
Okay.
said,
Yeah, so we didn't plan well enough for that gap.
Yeah.
Fair enough, we missed it. Okay, so we carried on, and now you're panicking. Not panicking, you're kind of looking for a gap, and you're thinking, oh my god, I need to park, I need to park. Now, if there's no parking spaces which are suitable, is it not okay just to not park?
yeah.
Yeah.
So was the gap too small?
It
to
was
park
way
there?
too small.
Was too
Yeah.
small.
Now, what I always say is, if I asked you to pull over and park, make sure there's a big enough gap where you can come in gradually, come away, pull away, and then park, and still have enough space with the car in front to move away as
What
well.
I did, I reversed back.
Yeah, so the gap was so small that A, when we came in that sharp, we mounted the curb, and 2, we were still really close to the car in front. So that is not a ideal place to park. Okay, so when the examiners want you to pull over and park, they just want you to come in and park and be able to move off as well
Without reversing.
without reversing. Now, if this happens where you end up parking too close to a car in front, you did the correct thing. You reverse back. But the mistake was we hit the curb as we came in. So ideally, the next time the examiners ask you to park, if there's no suitable places, you can carry on driving. Yeah, there's no place to park, just keep driving on. And even if you don't park, this is not a serious fault. If it keeps happening again and again, then yes, I'm going to start marking it down. But if you missed, you know, we can't find no spaces, we drive on. Okay, so unfortunately, because you kind of rushed into that space and you mounted the curb and we got too close to the car in front, the serious mistake was for steering. So you got a serious mistake for mounting the curb. This could create a cut in your tyre, and we shouldn't be going on top of the curb to park. Okay, and then yes, you got one more serious mistake, which was for appropriate speed. Now we're on a dual carriageway, which is signposted very nicely, saying 40 miles per hour. On several occasions, I caught you at 30 miles per hour when the road is clear in front of us. Yeah, and then you are now and again gaining your speed. You gain it up to maybe 35, and then it slows down to 30 again, and then 35, and then 30 again. At no point did you actually get right up to 40 miles per hour. You need to try getting up to that speed limit if it's safe to do so. The whole purpose of these dual carriageways is so you can get from one place to another place a bit quicker within the speed limit.
Is it always a serious fault? But what if like there's no traffic behind, there's no queue behind?
Yeah, okay,
Is
so
it still a
good question. Now if it's for a small amount of time, you're staying at 30 because you know you wasn't sure about the speed or something like this, or you know, if it's for a small amount of times, it will be a minor mistake. But it kept happening and happening, and it was such a long road there. And then we had a couple of cars behind us, and two big kind of truck things, vans, which ended up overtaking us. Now you're holding up traffic this way, and they're having to overtake. I mean, we have got the overtaking lane, but ideally, if it's 40 miles per hour road and it's safe to do 40, why not do it? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I was going to mark it down as a minor to begin with, but because it happened so many times, even when I asked you about your show me question, yes, it's good idea to come off the gas pedal, but we're just going too slow. We're holding up traffic again. We need to get up to the speed limit where it's safe to do so. Okay, that is the only other serious mistake. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on that, but I'd rather you start getting used to where it's safe to do so to get up to the speed limit. Okay, those are your two serious mistakes. And there's nothing else that really sticks out. You got minors, you got 12 minors, but they're all kind of all over the place, but I'll talk through some of them. The only other place where you got more than one minor was moving off safely. Now when you're moving off, you're doing an all-round check, but when you're checking a blind spot, you're not checking it well enough. This is a very common mistake. You've probably seen it in the mock test as well. I say this all the time to people. You need to look around this pillar. Yeah, you need to lean forward and do this. What you're doing was this. It's very easy to kind of just not want to move your body, but lean forward, move your shoulders. Yeah, really look around. So on two occasions, I feel like we wouldn't look around properly. Okay. The reverse park. Now let's quickly talk about that. The maneuver. Okay, so I asked you to do the reverse park into a bay. Now the way you started off first, I thought you misheard me, and I thought you was doing forward bay parking onto another bay. And then I realized that you was actually using that bay and then reversing back into another bay. Now in your test you can't do that. No. Okay, so
even if it's
even if it's empty, you can't do that. Okay, so what they want you to do is so where you start off straight and then you reverse into one of the bays. Okay, which you did it correctly afterwards. And at that point, if you need to go forward, which you did, that's fine. But you start off straight and then reverse in one of those bays. You can't go into another bay and then reverse in. Okay. All right.
So you can't go straight and then reverse back only.
Because you have to imagine if those cars parked in those bays, they want to see if you can still park in that bay. Okay. So start off straight and reverse in. Ideally, try not to use other bays to help you as well. Okay, in the test.
Sorry, what's that again?
So try not to go into another bay and then go back in. Okay, just imagine there's other cars in those, that's it.
Okay. Maybe someone wants to take you from the right.
Yeah, and at that point, like I said, I thought you was forward parking into that bay. So if there was another car behind you, he might actually start reversing into the bay you wanted to go into. So it's just making it nice and aware to others what you're doing as well. And also you could have used the signal there. I'm not sure if you used the signal or not. For the reverse bay parking. So when I got you to do it for the second time.
The second part.
Yeah, second time. I'm not sure if you used the signal. I can't remember though.
Yes, I think I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did probably. You can check
Yeah,
it.
we'll check it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you did or not. But the main mistake was just using those bays. But then I didn't include that because I felt like you did that all safely as well. So you, before you even went into that bay, you kind of looked over your shoulders, you checked your mirrors, you went in, and then it was just not the way I wanted it done. So so there was no mistake on that one. You was going into the bay nicely as well. You was a bit close to the other car. No, you wasn't close. You was going into the bay okay. And then I got you to do the maneuver again on the other side, which you did quite well, but I gave you a minor for your control. We parked too close to that car on the left. I couldn't even open my door. Now you gotta imagine, yes, you were still inside the bay, but if there's a car next to you, you wanna have a safety gap. Because now if that car, the driver of the car came to that, his own car and wanted to get into his car, you can't get in. Yeah. So we had a bit more space on your right. As long as you're inside the bay, that's good. But make sure other cars can actually still open the doors, and your passengers can open the doors as well, without having to get stuck there. Okay. Because you can imagine if the driver got there, he won't even be able to get in. I couldn't get out, so he wouldn't be able to get in. Okay.
So when you're parking, can you open the door and see if you're in middle or lines or?
Well, now what we usually say is that I try not to. Because
only lean forward from the window.
Lean out your window, look in your mirrors. If you need to, bring down your mirrors if you need to as well. But you need to make sure when you're if you are going to open your door, make sure you kind of secure the car. So the handbrake needs to be on, and you need to be in neutral. You shouldn't be opening your car door if you're in gear and the car's not secured. Okay, so this is why we say try not to, because it can make you into. Because if you accidentally bring up your clutch, the door's open. This is completely wrong. Okay.
It's better window.
Yeah, that's it. Just open your window, or just look at your mirrors, pull your mirrors down if need be. But I gave you a minor for your control. So when we parked the second time around, we got too close to that silver car on the left. I couldn't open my door, and that's just a minor. I put a star there. It could be a serious mistake. Anything closer, you just don't have enough clearance then. Okay. But you was inside the bay, just a bit too close to that car, so it's just a minor. I gave you a minor for your gears. At one point you were in no gear. Accidentally selected.
I went to neutral.
Yeah, you went into neutral and then you finally got into gear. You managed to fix that, which was fine. A minor for your steering. At one point we were turning right, third exit on a roundabout after doing the bay parking. This is going onto the high street. You kind of oversteered to your right, and we got a bit close to the island. Towards the right side, and it was mainly because you're trying to change gears and turn at the same time. Try to do the turn first, and when you got better control of the car, then change into second gear.
Even though the engine is revving too much, or
what's worse, I'd rather have the engine
or slow it down.
Yeah, or slow it down. Yeah, that'll give you more control as well. But I'd rather have more control of the car and have the engine revving high than lose control of the steering wheel whilst trying to change gears. So in turns, mid turns, especially sharp turns, try not to change gears. Yeah, just wait until after the turn. Okay. I already spoke about the moving off safely. Signals necessary. Now we're coming up to a roundabout where we are where the sat nav said go straight ahead, second exit. We're coming up quite quick. Now these lights have been green for a long time. Now,
I was about to put my pedal on the brakes in case it turns right.
But we weren't doing that, so we weren't covering the brakes at this point, and you weren't predicting the lights to change. And as we got there, the lights changed to amber, but you did the safe thing at that point. It was unsafe to stop. However, I didn't see the planning beforehand. I didn't see you covering your brakes and clutch.
You mean shifting my
your foot from the gas pedal to the brakes. You should be saying, wait, these lights have been green for a long time. I feel like we were still on the gas pedal the whole time while we're coming up to that roundabout. But like I said, you did the correct thing in the end. It's more of a kind of advisory than actually a minor. So yeah, if the lights have been green for a long time, predict that they could change to red soon. So at that point, cover your brakes, and if it's safe, stop braking and come to a stop. If it's not safe, like on this occasion it wasn't, we can carry on. Okay. So I gave you a minor for response to traffic lights, but also I gave you a minor for signals necessary. When we did take the second exit, you didn't use the left signal to come off. Yeah.
So when going straight.
Yeah. So it's a big roundabout. We're going straight ahead. We had no signal to begin with, and then we're supposed to use the left signal. You didn't use that, and we just came off without a signal. So that's a minor for signals necessary. Any big roundabouts, you should be using the left signal to come off. Okay. Mini roundabouts, small roundabouts, you don't need a signal to come off, but big roundabouts, left signal. Signals timed. When we came to the first mini roundabout here, you put your signal on at the roundabout. Yeah.
Okay.
You should have put it on good time so people have time to respond and know where you're going. Because if someone's coming from your left, he has no idea if you're going left or right. So you plan better, put your signal a bit sooner. Clearance and obstructions. This must have been at some point we got too close to a vehicle. I can't remember exactly where. Clearance, just the clearance from cars.
Maybe yeah, there was a.
I know where it was. It was a car that was parking on the left on the high street.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that car that was on our side?
Okay.
Yeah, he was reversing into a bay, and then there was an oncoming car. Now you first originally waited for that car to go past, and then you got impatient. While you're still going past, you're trying to squeeze through. I would have just waited for him to pass through, give her loads of space by going onto the right side, just in case they pull out. Yeah, because if they pull out, so we were just too close to him. I would have gone a bit more to the right there. Okay. Response to traffic signs. At one point we had 30 signs, so it was a 20 zone, and then turned into 30. Now you start building your speed up to 30 miles per hour before the sign.
For the sign.
Before the sign. Now you're supposed to only, yes, correct. So the speed limit is 30 miles per hour after the sign. So you can only build speed over 20 after you pass that sign. Okay, so I gave you a minor for that. And then use of speed, going too fast, like you said, on a 20 zone you was doing about 24, 23. You thought it was a serious mistake, borderline serious. Anything, if you'd been at that speed for anything longer, then yes, I would have made that a serious mistake. But I feel like you realized in good time, and yeah, that was fine. No more stops. I asked you to pull over and park in a safe place on one occasion, and I said don't worry about the yellow lines.
Yes.
I didn't say don't worry about the driveways, and you parked in front of a driveway.
Yeah, I was about to ask, I mean, for the driveways, but then I said...
yeah, so if I say safe place, so it's still excluding all the normal stuff, so like your driveways.
So did I park on a driveway?
Yeah, slightly. Yeah, just half in the driveway, half outside the driveway.
Okay.
Again, you're missing the very easy spaces to park.
Okay.
So when I said pull over and park in a safe place, where I was predicting you was going to park was a nice open space, and the curb was raised, it's very easy to come in, but you're missing that one. And then you went further up, and then I feel like you've now got the pressure on you, and you're like, okay, I need to park, and you just come in anywhere and just kind of park. Just take your time, plan better, look for nice big gaps to pull over and park with. Don't miss some as well. If you have missed them, don't panic at this point. Figure out where you're going to park, make sure it's safe, and come in and park. Okay, and that's all your mistakes. Yeah, so not a bad drive at all. So you did
clear,
yeah, like I said, there's nothing that sticks out where I'd say that you need serious work. The roundabouts I feel like were okay. We did some right turns and some mini roundabouts. Straight ahead on the big roundabouts, you need that left signal, like I said. The maneuver was good. You showed good control, good observation. Just make sure we give plenty of space over the road users as well, over cars. But yeah, other than that, it's good. I was happy with the drive, honestly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just maybe do 1 or 2 lessons just with the parking, maybe. Just, you know, getting you to pull over and park several times. In your test, you're asked to do this about 3 or 4 times.
Now I know that even though the bay is clear, I should not go on the mandatory reverse back.
Yeah, I mean the pulling over and parking. So on the road.
Oh, okay.
So when I get you to pull over and park, maybe you should just practice that a few more times. Maybe we could practice it before we finish as well. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna. I would personally just do maybe 1 or 2 lessons with an instructor, just to brush up on all of this stuff. But you should be good for your test. Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, there you go. So well done to Salal. Well, unfortunately that you didn't pass, but it was a good drive. Hopefully you found this helpful, and you know what you need to work on now. And yeah, like I said, you should be fine for your test when it comes to it. Okay. All right, good. Well done to Salal. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next mock test. Take care.